everyone, you're watching Weekly Forex Outlook by Liteforex. The US dollar was declining during the most part of last week and it started a negative trading on Monday as well. One of the main negative reasons for American currency was the decline at the American stock market. You can see here the dynamics of America's key stock indexes, S&P 500, and its fall is as big as the declines which took place in winter. Back then, the US stock market managed to recover rather quickly. However, analysts fear that this time the recovery won't be as easy. You can see that technically the market is now trading below the important line. The yellow line here, it is 200-day moving average, and usually it is assumed that when the price went below this line, the bullish market turns into bearish market, and negative dynamics of American stocks will be negative for the US dollar. Another factor which is keeping the USD under pressure is the rise of global political tensions. The US President Donald Trump claimed on Sunday that he may impose another round of tariffs on China. So trade wars are still a major risk. And there are tensions between Saudi Arabia and the United States over the disappearance of a prominent journalist. And this is another negative factor. In addition, there are some domestic concerns about the American economy. Let's have a look at the economic calendar at liteforex.com. Here you can see that on Monday, US retail sales, the core retail sales indicator declined by 0.1%, while analysts expected a rather strong increase of this indicator. And the headline retail sales also came out weaker than expected. Given the fact that the US inflation data, which have been released recently, also were rather weak, we can expect further pressure on the USD and further problems for American currency. One thing which can lift the sentiment for the US dollar is the release of FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday. This is the publication of the accounts of the last meeting of American Central Bank, and there are reasons to believe that this event will be hawkish, or in other words, bullish for the US dollar. However, everything can happen, and well, for now, if we try to balance negative and positive factors for the USD, there are more negative than positive ones. Let's return to the charts and have a look at the dynamics of some other currencies. It's the euro dollar first. Here, the currency pair managed to recover from levels around 1.1430 to the area of 1.1580. And this recovery in euro dollar took place mainly because of the weakness of the US currency. If we look at the fundamental factors for the euro, there we can't find these positive reasons. Firstly, economic data from Germany, the key economy of the euro area, were rather weak. Secondly, the president of the European Central Bank, Mario Draghi, gave some negative comments about inflation. And finally, there are still risks associated with Italy and its debt problems. As a result, the euro doesn't have its own positive factors, but it is rising because the US dollar is weakening. If the pair manages to get above the 50-day moving average and fix there, the next obstacle will lie rather close it is the area of 1.1620 and the 100-day moving average at 1.1625. So conservative traders will buy the euro only above this blue line. The target will lie around the psychological level of 1.17 mark. If the US dollar manages to regain its strength, then support for the euro will certainly be located around 1.15. This is the major support area for the euro dollar, and it used to save the euro from big declines before. Below this level, natural support levels are at 1.1460 and 1.1430, the recent low, as well as the more distant Fibonacci level at 1.1410. Switching to the British pound versus the US dollar, we can see that the pair managed to test levels around 1.30 to 60, but then turned lower. This week opened with the bearish gap, but then the pair managed to close it. Now, the main driver for the British currency is Brexit negotiations. The European Union and Britain are still trying to decide on what agreement they will have, how Britain will leave the euro area, on what conditions. The main question is with Irish border, and this is why the parties still didn't manage to agree, because this is a difficult question. And the key day for the pair will be Thursday. Then the summit between Britain and the EU will take place. But also there will be other announcements during other days of the week. So constantly there will be a news flow related to Brexit. On the downside, we can see that there is important level around 1.31. Here it is. Decline below this level will bring the pound to 1.3050 and 1.2980. Of course, it is really hard to believe that an agreement will be reached this week. So these support levels look like the major scenario for the British pound. However, the market is extremely short for the British pound right now. Many traders are preparing for the negative scenario. As a result, if a positive surprise comes out, there will be an immense increase in the British pound, and it will take out resistance levels which are at 1.3220, 1.3260, 1.33, and will be able to get higher as high as to 1.35 area. But the possibility of this scenario is of course lower, and the main focus is on the negative downside levels. Let's have a look at the chart of the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. Here the main uptrend is still in place, but we can see that now we are in the phase of correction, and the pair came painfully close to the support line of this uptrend channel. We are now trading at 111.80 mark. The next support is at 111.50, and then in the area of 111.25. Here it is. Decline below these levels will certainly mean the break of this previous uptrend in the USD. The pressure is heavy. The Japanese yen is strengthening. It is a kind of refuge, and the more concerned the market gets about the USD, the more prominent global trade and other political tensions become, the more likely will be the decline of dollar-yen currency pair. Resistance lies at some natural levels here. If we switch to the 4-hour chart, resistance will be located around 112.30 mark, and you can see clearly that here is the negative intersection of the moving average and the continuation of the short-term downtrend. If the US dollar rebounds and gets to 112.30, here traders may look for another chance to sell the currency. If not, if dollar breaks above 112.30, then we will look for the return to 113 level. But for now, of course, pressure seems strong. And another instrument which is perceived by the market as a refuge, as a safe haven from global tensions is surely gold. And you can see that it indeed made a big leap to the upside. Now gold is trading 100-day moving average at 12.28, and if it fixes above this level, we will expect some further upside for this precious metal. The Fibonacci resistance is, of course, nearby, located at 12.38, and traders should take this into account as well. So a conservative scenario would imply buying only above this Fibonacci level, with potential for the advance to the next 50% Fibonacci level at 12.60 area. Crude oil prices declined during the recent days. Here the pressure may continue a bit. You can see that support lies at moving averages, and of course the continuation of tensions between the US and Saudi Arabia will make a big importance here, because from some point of view, if Saudi Arabia threatens to do something with oil market, this will be a big factor for oil prices. So here are trading opportunities which may present themselves in the upcoming days. And finally, commodity currencies, Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, are continuing to trade within the general downtrend, but now there is the phase of correction which may take place and develop closer to the upper border of the trend. For the Australian dollar, resistance is at 0.72. For the New Zealand dollar, resistance is at 0.66. This is all for today. Thank you for your attention. And if you want to try out the trade recommendations from this video, and if you want to test the opportunities of trading with Liteforex, you will find the download link for Liteforex trading terminal and for Liteforex demo account in the description of this video. If you liked our analytics, please subscribe to our channel and press thumbs up to this video. Good luck in your trading!